The 417 Gamers is a group of board, tabletop, and card gamers in the 417 area code. This is the podcast. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast, episode 49, the one with the gaming hobby. In the 4, we talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. Lords of Waterdeep, Abducktion, Raw, and Pitchcar. In the 1 topic of the show, we talk about the gaming hobby in general and what it means to us. And in the 7, we talk about 7 of the most important games to us. Without further ado, the 417 Gamer Podcast. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast. My name is Rick.
And I'm Andrea.
In the 4, we like to talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. This is episode 49. In the next episode, we're going to be hitting 50.
Woo!
I know. But this is episode 49. We're talking about 4. Let's start with what game you want to start with?
Let's do Lords of Waterdeep.
Okay. So, Lords of Waterdeep is on our 10 for 10.
Mm-hmm.
You got us the grip mats, Lords of Waterdeep map that has the expansion already baked into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Scoundrels of Skullport and Undermountain extra spaces to put your stuff, it's already on there. Plus, it came with some extra resin-printed little meeples, because we already have the acrylic D&D-ples.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're playing 4 to 5 players, they run out and we have to go back down to the cubes, which feels bad.
Right.
But you got those, and those filled out our collection,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to get rid of the cubes and donate them to our friendly local board game cafe so they could triage some of their games that have been loved a little too hard. And we love Jess and the ladies over at Village Meeple, but some of their games, the pieces don't always make it back in.
Well, with the little cubes, it's understandable, especially if you got kids.
But Lords of Waterdeep is designed by Peter Lee and Rodney Thompson. This came out in 2012. It's published by Wizards of the Coast. It is a classic worker placement game. On your turn, you're going to take a little meeple. That is one of your workers. You're going to send him out on the board, and he's going to go get you some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in the game, it's themed in Dungeons and Dragons. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, or if you haven't, you and some friends gather together, and you have another person that is your dungeon master, and they send you out on quests. And you get to be rogues and mages and clerics and warriors and barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this game, you're not those people. Instead, you're a lord of the town of Waterdeep, and you're too noble, or you're too higher up in the society to go do those quests, but you need them done.
Yes.
So you need to get all those people gathered up, but you can't be seen with the riffraff, so you have agents. They go and get those people to go do things for you.
Yes.
So once they collect them in your tavern, they go out and do a quest for you, and you get points in the guise of experience points, which are just points.
Yes.
And then sometimes some monies.
And you don't have to have ever played Dungeons and Dragons to play this game. It's just that the quests and the workers are themed.
Very much so.
In that world.
Like taming owlbears and attack at the Blackstaff Tower or something like that.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite worker placement game.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
More than viticulture?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. So the second game we're going to talk about is got some ducks in it.
Is it about getting your ducks in a row?
Sometimes, or sometimes in a zigzag, or in 2 rows. We're talking about Abducktion. Abducktion is a cute little game. I've said it a couple times. Our friendly local game store, Metagames, has a great used shelf. I never know what's going to pop up there. And Abducktion, I think it's been out of print for a little bit, and they have a new print coming out. But a used copy popped out on their shelf. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to pick this up. And one of the guys is like, I just put that out there. I'm like, well, I just picked it up. So it is, Abducktion is designed by Evan Katz and Josh Roberts. It is published by Evan and Josh's very special games company. In Abducktion, you're an alien that is doing experiments on various ducks. You start with a little creek or a little river of ducks. You put them out there randomly. And then there are global goals in the middle of the board where you might want all the same color in a line of 5. or you might want, because your river kind of snakes the 2 rows of, I want to say it's 6 ducks. So you might want to do that, or you might want a zigzag pattern of like 2 different colors, or you might want a row of 4, all completely, each one completely different from the other. And each of those, depending on how difficult it is to do, is how many points it might be worth. The more difficult, the more points.
Mm-hmm.
But the deck of gold cards is dealt out according to how many players. And I think the base only plays 2 to 4, and we have the used copy has the expansion already built in, so ours goes to 6.
That's great.
And I thought it was super cute.
It is. The little ducks are adorable. The art on the cards is great. The theme of that you're abducting these ducks, so great. It's definitely a family weight game. But we had it out at board game night at Meta, and we had a full slate of people playing, and everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah. Third game we're going to talk about is Raw. Raw is a game from 1999, designed by Reiner Knizia, and I don't know who is reprinting this one. I think it's 25th Century Games, because the copy we played was the very nice pimped out Kickstarter copy. Mm-hmm. Ethan brought it over. It's got the big chunky tiles. What is Raw?
Well, it's Egyptian themed game where you're kind of set collecting, basically. You've got 2 different sides of your board. The cards on the left score every turn. The cards that go on the right of your board are end of game scoring for set collection. There are also, I love the money. They're not money, they're point tokens, aren't they?
Same difference, but yeah.
They look like little gold, not cubes. What would you call them?
They're like gold squares or rectangles. They kind of feel like little cards.
Yeah, they're fantastic quality. The art, very Egyptian themed. It is, I wouldn't call it a lightweight game. I would say it's more medium weight.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
We did play it with one of our friends who is a newbie, and she was able to handle it pretty well. But I wouldn't call it a family weight game.
Okay. I think it's really dependent on the family, but yeah, I can see that where it'd be a little tougher for some. But yeah, Raw is an auction game. Everybody starts with 3 tiles, and they have different values, and they are situated depending on how many players, and I think this plays 3 to 5, or maybe it plays 2 to 5. But the tokens go away from, like, I want to say 15 down to 1, and I might have the 1, the 9, and the 13. Mm-hmm. And then you might have the 2, the 5, and the 15. On your turn, you can either pull a tile out of the bag, and it adds it to the pile that might be bid on, or you can just invoke Raw and start the bid. Or there might be a tile that comes up that makes you invoke Raw and starts the bid. And the tiles, like you said, are set collection, but there's also some disaster tiles that'll hurt your set collection.
It's true.
So is how good is the stuff that you're getting? Is it better than that bad thing to where you start bidding? And when you bid, you just put out one of your tokens. And then everybody goes around. And if you really want to, you can put out the higher token. But if you win a bid, you lose that token to the middle, and there's a token that is in reserve. You will get that. It'll come back to your board and it'll flip face down. You will at most win 3 bids in a round. Mm-hmm. I think you play like 3 rounds and game's over. It's either 3 or 4 rounds. But fantastic auction game. That the deluxe game is the way to go if you do get it.
Fantastic.
Last but not least, we're going to talk about another one of my top 5 games. Yeah, it's probably top 4. I mean, Concordia's still 1. Viticulture is 2 or 3. And this is Pitchcar. Pitchcar is... And maybe what puts it down is because I have so much. And it's so hard for me to get it out sometimes. Mm-hmm. Pitchcar came out in 1995 under the game Carabande, but it was picked up by Ferti. It is designed by Jean Dupuel. And it is a dexterity game where you have wooden track pieces And they have puzzle-like little ends to each one where you snap them together, and you make a track. If you get just the base game, it has suggested tracks. But I don't have just the base game. I have a lot of money invested in my Pitchcar. And I have more coming. Because Pitchcar prints about once a year. Ferdy prints it once in France. And I keep track of it. And it seems to be around June, July, Ferdy prints it. And then the U.S. distributor over here is Eagle Griffin Games. And they seem to get it somewhere around September, August. Or August, September. So I tell my friendly local game store, hey, I saw it on the Ferdy website. Keep an eye on your side. Here's what I want. And there's two expansions I don't have. One I want, one I don't care. The first one is it splits your track into two different sections. So I can make two paths and bring them back around. And that sounds really interesting to me.
It does.
And then the other one will adjust from full-size Pitchcar down to Pitchcar Mini, which I also have. Pitchcar Mini is fun, but I have it now just for the lending library for Moon City Con. My big Pitchcar I bring for a tournament at Moon City Con, but it's not a lendable game.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, and it's heavy, and there's a lot of pieces. And
no, Pitchcar is a fantastic game. I love it. We played a little bitty tournament, and everybody had such a good time.
Oh, yeah, yes.
But all right, that was the 417 Gamer podcast. Let's go on to the topic of the show. The one topic of the show is the hobby in general and what it means to you. The hobby in general, board gaming, it's really important to me. It's one of my favorite social interaction lubricants, mechanisms, whatever you want to call it. I used to play video games with friends that couch co-op, the crap talking whenever you play Madden or NBA 2K or the shooters.
Yeah.
But when it went to the online realm, as long as I had my friends, it was great. But whenever you're playing with random people, you get random experiences. And
sure.
The internet is faceless, so people
are mean.
Not just mean, but just so brazen with profanity, racism, all that stuff.
Yeah. Which
probably says quite a bit about that person.
Yeah.
But the fact that I really don't care to be around it, if at all possible.
Right.
So, you get into a lobby and you got teens, preteens, and probably people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s want to toss out any, ethnic, racial...
Just ruins the experience.
Pejoratives and... Yeah. So it was at that time that my friends, our hours started changing and all that stuff, and we got together and we played Risk. And we had a great time, but we had a great time playing a game with each other.
Right.
The game itself was fine.
Mm-hmm. My brother, I remember Risk being one of the first board games we ever played. Of course, we had Sorry and Monopoly and those things that everyone else did. But I remember him really clicking on Risk because those calculated movements he was really into it. He's very mathematical. That's just how his brain works. But I just remember him being like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and it's also probably an identity of me just from my family. You've been to our family Christmases quite a few times now, and I feel like you're a person that engages, because when you go over to my dad's side, most people play games. There's a few that disconnect, go to the couch, and watch the Christmas movie, and I get it.
Sure.
There is a social overload.
Yeah.
My family can be a lot.
It's a lot of people and a little spice.
Yeah. But we've always played games during the holidays. Card games, dominoes, party games. Mm-hmm. And then I started injecting the hobby games. And the cool thing is watching the hobby games start doing more. Mm-hmm. When I first got in the hobby, they were just starting to blur the lines of what a dry Euro and what a pulpy Ameritrash game was.
Yeah.
To where they were crossing over, and you'd see, glimmers of each side in the others, but then you started seeing party games that were a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I mean, Codenames wasn't the first to do it, but it was the one that did it so well on such a scale that it went to mass market.
Yeah.
And Wits and Wagers did it too, but I don't feel like it captured.
But that's been very recently.
Right. So Wits and Wagers did it first, and then, Codenames. But growing up playing the Taboos, the Pictionaries,
Apples to Apples.
Sure. And all those were fun times with family. And sometimes the simplest party games are the best for that environment and that night.
Yeah.
But so for me, how important the hobby is to me, it's very important. Andrea, how important is the hobby to you as a whole?
I remember playing some video games as a child. Our mom at a garage sale got us an Atari.
Yeah.
So that was my first gaming experience. And then, like I said, actually, no, that's not true. I have a memory of being a little toddler and playing Mousetrap. And I loved Mousetrap. And I always wanted the trap to come down. And they're like, no, you lose if you get trapped. I was like, no, I want the trap. So I don't think I have any memories before that are game related, but I do remember Mousetrap. And then it just kind of melted away. We didn't really play real games anymore until we got the Atari, and then we played video games.
Yep.
And then, like I said, one time I remember us playing Risk, but we were older, adolescents, and my brother really liked it. I was fine with it, but I didn't really click with it the way he did.
Right.
And then I have a large period of my life where there was no gaming at all of any kind. Until we got together, you and I. And people always ask me, were you into the gaming hobby before you guys got together? And I was not. I mean, it was totally start from scratch with me when we got together.
Yeah.
And you had to teach me. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a worker placement game was. I learned all the terms and that I'm now very familiar with. And at first, I did play just because that's what you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But now I'm the one who wants to play sometimes. I'm like, hey, let's go play a game. You're like, I don't know. And I'm like, come on. Yeah. So it has become, important to me as well. And I love that it's something that we can do together. A lot of other couples that I know, one of the people is into gaming and the other's not. So they come out to game night because they're like, yeah, my wife won't play this with me or whatever. So I love that that's something that we can do together. It really adds a special meaning to it.
Yeah, but neither one of us are super competitive with the other.
No.
So if either one of us wins, we razz the other one a little bit,
right,
and go about our day and have a good time.
It's true.
It's not one of those things. You and I have different qualities, different abilities, and I think we, enhance one another. But if you beat me in a game that, even if it's my favorite game, and I think I'm really, really good at it, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Right. And I see you're like, hey, that was a really good move. Good job.
Yeah. But I've noticed, we have some couples that used to game, but then, that one game where somebody got really chapped about it.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's just super competitive, or she's super competitive. I'm like, I guess that's an excuse.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems to me that this is a not therapist giving a therapist thing. Like, there might be another thing there.
Oh. Well, I think that in a lot of families that we see come out to game night where the parents are teaching the kids the lower level games, like My First Scythe or, something like that. That's always fun to watch. And my God, the kids catch on so much quicker than I expect. Like we had at Moon City, not at Moon City, we had at Metagames, we had a teach night of Planet Unknown.
Yeah.
And some adolescents came out. I'm talking like 8, 10, somewhere in there. And I looked at them like, oh my God, this is going to be so over their head. This is not going to be good. And man, they nailed it. They caught on like just right away, and they did fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love seeing that. And it's great for I think that the families interacting like that is really, it's wholesome.
It is. And that's an idea that maybe we talk to a friendly local game store, maybe doing another newbie night.
Yeah.
Featuring a game.
Right.
A lot of us have Marvel Splendor. That's an idea. A lot of us have Ticket to Ride, I think, is prevalent in the big box stores. So I don't know if that's needed, although I bet our friendly local game store might be able to get some promos. That might be nice too.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's important to both of us.
Well, I think that for you especially, I mean, we're ignoring the elephant in the room, that this hobby is so important to you that you started a convention for board gamers because the local gaming group got big enough to support a local convention.
Yeah, we were going to other conventions. We're like, we should be able to do that here, and then grow and have something for our friends, because we kept on saying, oh, we go up to St. Louis, or we go down to Dallas, or Indianapolis, and they're like, oh man, I wish if it was closer,
I'd
would
go. Yeah,
but I don't have the means to travel that far,
right?
Or I don't have the time to take off to go, and I don't want to spend money on a ticket and not be able to do at least 2 or 3 of the days, or I don't drive very well, so trying to go to Dallas or Indianapolis or whatever is not feasible for me. So yeah, and that was what meant a lot to us, is something we could do for our gaming community. Especially, the other thing was, we had 3 or 4 conventions in the area, and they were trying to service all the communities, and while I appreciate that, you could tell at a convention that tries to do all of it, which Aries has somebody that's very passionate about doing it.
Yeah. They would have a game room, but it was definitely not a game-centric convention.
Right. But so an example is the, it's no longer with us, but the Gaming Entertainment Expo, Gaming Arts Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
Great people. Mm-hmm. And they tried to curtail to arts and comics and cosplay and LARP and video games and role-playing games and board games and then vendors. So you've got 7 avenues that they're trying to hit, and it's hard to do any one of those well, let alone 7. So whenever you put, you try and get somebody that is not super passionate about that area, and they're being nice to their group and helming it, because you need somebody to helm it. But so after we got all those, we're like, what if we went ahead and just did it? Yeah. If you want change, you should be willing to be the change. So looking at some of the questions, so we've been modeling the questions in the 417Gamer group, the questions of the weekend. We've been modeling them after our podcast for the most part. So, how important is the hobby? We answered that one. How well would you say you manage your time with your gaming hobby?
My gosh, I think we do pretty good.
I think we're doing better. I think I used to probably spend a little more on my gaming hobby than other aspects of my life. Like eating better, exercising, keeping up on house maintenance. Chores in everyday life, I do that.
Adulting. It's work, just all adulting.
Is doing better. But it was managing, I have this hobby, and that is kind of my social conduit. Mm-hmm. And then I have work, and then I have my own health and my other aspects that I probably wasn't managing as well. But here in the last year or 2, I think I've tried to... I still game, but I don't get to game as many days of the week as I used to.
You would do it every day of the week if you could.
I would. For the most part, I would. But we have our dedicated nights that we try and game. Mm-hmm. But if family and other things come up, I do pull away. When I used to try and make that a hard line, not just because I wanted a game, but also I like to plan and I like to know when things are happening. And if it's an emergency, sure, I'll drop stuff and come help. Yeah. But, relationships are a two-way street. I have a thing that I do every Thursday. You're more than welcome to join me. But whenever you schedule your thing on a Thursday...
I'm not going to be there because I have my game night.
Well, I mean...
And that's just part of who I am.
If that's the only night you could do it, because other family can't be or whatever, that's the best night for you, fine. If that's exactly your birthday or whatever your special day and you want me to be a part of it, absolutely.
It's kind of cute because after we started dating, we'd be on our way to game night and your parents would call, be like, hey, want to go out to dinner tonight? And you're like, no, it's Thursday. Thursday's game night. Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot. And I love your parents, and I'm not doing a dig at them because I adore them, and it's so sweet that they want to include us in things. But you would just get, you're like, it's Thursday. They know I have games on Thursday.
Because they have a karaoke night. We specifically schedule things around their karaoke night because it's very important to them. That's honestly about... kind of like what it is with my gaming hobby, that's kind of what it is with my parents. They have friends they only see during karaoke night.
Sure, and we have friends we only see at game night.
They don't cross over with any other activity. They don't they might not, and I don't know the other people's politics, so maybe they don't line up politically, but as far as other outside activities, they don't line up, maybe...
Well, even if they did line up, being an adult is hard. To be able to get together with people even one day a week is kind of really good because even we, as dedicated as we are, we can't do it every Thursday. But we have to miss once in a while. So
the next question that we had in the 417 Gamer group was, does your family enjoy your hobby with you? And I would say yes. Mm-hmm. For the most part, there are absolutely the minority. And I think I've gotten better at picking what games to bring to the family. Mm-hmm. Now, I have bombed, and I probably will bomb on another one down the road. Because even if a game on the surface check marks everything, like, oh, they like animals, they like easy, they like puzzles, and you put something like Everdale, and they're just like, eh.
Nah, yeah.
Or Tiny Towns. Tiny Towns is a fun little game that has a little puzzle to it, but it gives some of my friends and family some anxiety and stress because you have the board's filling up and then you can't put stuff places and they're like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, didn't you bring any fun games?
Right. I did not. I brought this. So yeah, a good chunk of my family games.
They do. And your niece is just getting into the hobby. We were at her house the other day and they were using Flip 7 to teach her numbers and adding and, matching.
She's a first grader.
Yeah.
She's playing Flip 7 and they've kind of simplified Carcassonne for her.
Yeah.
She knows to match the tiles that roads have to touch roads and then cities have to touch cities. And she put the little peoples.
Yes.
I forget what she actually called them. She didn't call them meeples and she didn't call them people. She calls them something. But yeah, your family. I've kind of drug your family into gaming a little bit.
A little bit. My brother, he has always been a big video gamer, not so much board gamer. But he'd be like, hey, what's that one game we played that one time where you put the little guys and you get the things and you fill the things and I'm like trying to think, oh my God, Lords of Waterdeep. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I guess that's what it was called. It was fun, so he has been learning along with us. It's been fun to watch. He is super competitive, though. Yeah. He wants to win. He is not to the point where he's like, oh, I'll just enjoy the experience of playing. Right. He's like all about it. It's like very competitive.
Another question I had, do you have a dedicated shelf space for your family's games?
We do. We have your office is where we keep all of the games, except for in our front room where we have our dining table. We have a shelf of both 2-player games for us to be able to easy access, and some of the family games, like when my brother comes over, or if we have a friend come over, they're just right there. Yep. So I say yes.
Well, absolutely. And we have a shelf of your games. You have
Mm-hmm.
Obsession, Wormspan.
Yeah. My shelf is tiny compared to yours.
It's growing.
But I do have some that are mine.
Right. And then I have a section for my niece. A whole bunch of kids' games.
Yeah.
Like Jacob the Dragon, Snakes, Bugs in the Kitchen. Some of those type of games. I had Rhino Hero Super Battle, but I think the smaller Rhino Hero is a better game.
Yeah.
And I think she likes it better. It's easier, and you can play it 2 to 4 really easy, where the Rhino Battle Superhero, a little more rambunctious, and it's great if you have a whole bunch of kids. But yeah, and then, like you said, we have a couple sections in our shelves that are just for the family. I mean, we're never going to get rid of Marvel Splendor. We're never going to get rid of Ticket to Ride. We're never going to get rid of Carcassonne. Alhambra. You know, there's a lot of those games we will always keep because they come out during the holidays for family.
And you're lucky that some of your dad's side of the family are also gamers, and so they can play some of the harder games.
Yep.
Like, you know, Wingspan. I wouldn't call Wingspan a party game, but when we get together with them, it's something we would play.
No, but I'd go to that party.
Grand Austrian Hotel, you know, stuff like that. It's fun that we do have that in common with your family that we can do.
So there's a question I didn't ask in the 417Gamer group, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to make it a bonus, and I might kick out that dedicated shelf space for families' games for the next segment. What are the most important games to you?
Oh, I do have some that are I'm emotionally attached to some.
So let's go into the 7. We'll talk about some of the most important games to us.
Yeah.
In this episode of the 7 of the 417Gamer podcast, we are talking about 7 of the most important games to us. And I think order, we're just talking about 7 games because on a given day, one might mean a little bit more to us than the other one. Andrea, you want to start us off with 7?
One of the games that is important to me is Botnik. It's a little 2-player game, that little tile laying 2-player game. It is a good game, but it's important to me because close friends of ours gave it to us as a wedding gift, and we took it with us on our honeymoon, on our cruise, and we played it several times on the honeymoon. So that is something I will never get rid of.
Yeah, and she knitted us a nice bag. Because, Botnik is a tile-laying, trial-drafting game. Designed by Frank Critton, Georgie Largy, and Sebastian Ponchon. It is published by Space Cowboys. But the tiles, it tells you kind of just shuffle them roughly and put them in a face-down draw stack, and that kind of doesn't... She knitted an eggplant bag that has eyes, and it's fantastic. Catherine, if you're listening, you're probably not, but if you are, thank you for the gift, and thank you for the
bag.
The knitted bag, it's wonderful. I'm going to go with mine. Number 7 is Carcassonne. Carcassonne, not only one of my first gateway games, but we also used it for our wedding address book. So, all the people that came in signed on various tiles that they wanted to. And we ended up needing just like a copy and a half. So we put up 2 copies and let people, put your name on whatever you wanted to.
Yeah.
And couples could either put their name on both couples on a tile, or they could get their own, however they wanted to. And you could tell a couple of our friends didn't exactly know how the game was played because they put their names on the back of the tiles, which is perfectly fine. It tells a story. It's a wonderful game in our collection.
Yeah.
Carcassonne is designed by... Oh, my phone's kind of...
And it's fun because when we're laying out the tiles, we get to read the names and have a little flashback.
We do. Klaus-Jürgen Verde. It is published by Hansheim Gluck, or our copy was by Z-Man Games. Mm-hmm. I think it's Asmodee at this point that has it. It's been published by several games. It came out in 2000, so it's 25 years old this year. It's a fantastic little game, and now my sister is teaching my niece Carcassonne, and she can do little bits and pieces of it. They play without the farmer rule because my niece can't quite handle that as a first grader, but she's got the rest of it. She knows that the roads have to touch the roads, and the fields have to touch fields, and cities touch cities.
Yeah.
Number 6, I'm going to go with Habengut. So Habengut is... It's a game about trying to have the most money and then also not being the cheapest to charities. It's very simple in its mechanics. Mm-hmm. It's a little deeper in its strategies. It's fun to where you can hose your neighbor, but not directly. You have to kind of hose the market a bit. But it's one of those games that I picked up while I was starting to get into the crunchy Euros and crunchy games that have, 5, 7, 10, 15-page rule books where, the teach is 15, 20 minutes at least. Mm-hmm. And this one reminded me that I need games in my collection that can play multiple skill levels at the same time. And I think this one does it really well.
I agree.
We can play with almost brand newbies, and we can play with seasoned gamers. Mm-hmm. And while seasoned gamers might come in knowing this game, and it's not I don't see this played very often except for in our game group. But if somebody even knew this game, you can have a brand newbie that will just kind of start learning the game and throw a wrench, and it throws off everybody's plan.
And that's great to watch.
It's absolutely great to watch. Habengut was brought stateside here just a year or two ago by Ares Games. It is designed by Carlo A. Rossi, and like I said, in the States, it's published by Ares Games. Andrea, your number 6.
Marvel Splendor.
Yeah.
I love this game. One of the reasons that I do love it is because a lot of my friends might not be gamers, but they all are nerds, and they love the Marvel movies. So being able to get a good Avengers team together, or a good mutants, or whatever you're going for.
Yep, spider peoples.
Yeah, the Splendor mechanics still the same, but with the added twist of you have to get all the Infinity Stones, or the locations are prominent Marvel locations
instead of nobles,
like Asgard and such. So it's really extremely entertaining on multiple levels, and I don't ever see us getting rid of that.
Now, this is designed by Marc Andre, published by Space Cowboys. Splendor Marvel came out in 2020, right during pandemic. We kept our gaming group kind of tight during those times. A lot of people did. Mm-hmm. We only had about 2 or 3 people that we gamed with semi-regularly until we were allowed to, get out and about. Mm-hmm. So this is one that refreshed Splendor for me because, you and I were dating. Mm-hmm. And you liked Splendor, but Splendor for me, I'd played the crap out of, and I was like, yeah, we can play Splendor again if you want. And then when we got Splendor Marvel, it refreshed it for me too.
Yeah.
Because even though I've played the Splendor mechanic over and over, now I could, instead of, especially teaching newbies, instead of just crushing, I can just start collecting the characters I want. Like, ooh, I can get all the people from this comic arc, or I can, like I said, go after all the Spider people because it's got Spider-Man and his villains. It's got, the Avengers and their villains, and so on and so forth. But Splendor Marvel was your number 6, I think. Mm-hmm. What's your number 5?
Tiny Laser Heist.
Ooh.
The first game I ever kickstarted on my own, and it is It's completely a dexterity game where you are... When I saw how the game in the demo for the pitch to sponsor it, you've got these stretchy rubber bands that are supposed to be representations of lasers that if you touch them, you set off the alarm,
And they do.
Mission Impossible style. They just kind of seat into little clips, and if you touch them fairly hard, they will come off.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to do on your own to have these two sticks. You have two sticks that look like chopsticks with little plastic hands on the end, and you have to stick them in and try and lift the jewel off, take it out, and put it on a pedestal. I didn't realize.
You don't get to do it by yourself.
But I didn't realize that you hold one hand and someone else holds the other hand, and man, does that make it 10,000 times harder and more hilarious.
Until people start getting used to it. Once you play a couple games, you finally start getting a little more strategy, and you learn. So the plastic hand that you have on the end of the chopstick, it's got a it's a hand. It's got a thumb on one side,
right.
And sometimes the thumb is better up, and sometimes the thumb is better down when you're moving the pieces.
It's one of those. If you are with the right group of people, you will laugh until you pee your pants.
And this is published by Evan and Josh's Very Special Games Company. I guess that brings us to my 5. My 5 is going to be Crokinole. So Crokinole we picked up at Geekway to the West 2024. And there's a game that we're going to talk about next episode that's in our favorites. But, and it's the game I picked up first when we started looking at their boards. Crokinole's expensive if you want to get a nice board.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that time, and I knew you liked gaming with me, but it was once we demoed the board and you actually wanted to drop that kind of money on a board with me. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, a friend of ours, Alan and Sarah, they had a Crokinole board.
They do.
And years ago, we had played it. And I was like, hey, what's that game that's round? And you spin the thing and you flick, and you're like, Crokinole. And I was like, let's get one of those. And you're like, well, they don't sell them around here. And you could import it in, but it's really expensive. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. Okay, well. And then they had them at the convention. I was like, yay!
And we could pick the one we wanted. We could demo it. The people at Brown Castle Games are fantastic to work with. We got 2 sets of pucks, and then we went right back and grabbed 2 more sets of pucks, and then I ordered another puck from their online store from another one. And now our friendly local game store has some of their pucks, and I think we need to get a 6th color, but I'm probably gonna let you pick the 6th color because we've got red, blue, brown, orange, and what's our 5th color? Is it black?
Purple.
Purple. And I feel like we need either a yellowish or a greenish or something like that. And our friendly local game store Metagames has some of them.
Yeah.
But it clued me in that you're diving into the game, hobby with me pretty hard. If you're willing for us to go over there and drop that kind of money on a board and a case and extra pucks and the powder and their little offshoot Crokinole Imperium card game that we still haven't gotten to play yet.
Because the base game is fun enough.
No, we love playing Crokinole. Number 4. My number 4 is Pitchcar. I love my Pitchcar set. I love bringing it to Moon City Con. I like setting it up at Metagames a couple times a year, having a tournament. It's one of those games that a lot of people come by and take a look at. It's also one of those games I just like hosting, and I don't think we played it at the house at all.
Well, it's definitely a table hog. You need a big table, and we don't really have the space for it, honestly.
No, I mean, if we eventually get to the point where we can clear out the garage, we might be able to play it out there.
Sure.
But our inside, the space, unless we put it on the floor, and I think that would be miserable for us.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
But Crokinole was published, it was designed by Gene Puel, and I think it was published in 94.
Pitchcar.
Pitchcar. It is published in 95. 95, designed by Gene Poel, published by Furty, but it's distributed in the U.S. by Eagle Griffin Games. And as of this recording, Eagle Griffin Games has a pre-order for Pitchcar stuffs. So if you are hot after Pitchcar, they're pre-ordering it right now.
Nice.
Andrew, you're number 4.
Ready, Set, Bet.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic group game. This is not going to work as a 2-player game. You could play it, but when you have 5, 6, 8 people standing around a table, throwing down bets on horses, jumping up for joy when their number gets called for their horse, one of probably up there for maybe the most entertaining game we have. I don't know. It's definitely top 2 for sure.
Yeah, it's up there with Pitchcar.
Yeah, we don't have another game like it. I also like that you can roll dice to advance the horses down the track, or there is an app that you play on your phone where the announcer does it for you, and the little tiny dice on the screen roll and to see which horses go. But it's really entertaining. The announcer is very, TV like, and there goes the number 2 horse. She's making a late start, but we knew she'd make it, or so we can play it either way. And when you are the racer, I don't know what you call it, the host, the announcer, where you're saying, that's the 7 horse. That's also extremely entertaining.
It's fun. It's a good time. I like running the horses as much as I like betting.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, after we've ran a race, I'm like, well, no, I want to bet too.
Yeah. And we actually have the... what do you call it? The deluxe edition.
Yeah.
It's with a giant...
It's a big suitcase.
Yeah, with a giant mat and bigger horses. Makes it even funner.
It is. So it's very nice. What number did we say that was? That was 4.
That was 5.
So we're down to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your 3?
Number 3 for me is Terraforming Mars.
Yep. It
is the first heavy game that I ever played, and I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting I could make it through the game and play well enough, but you guys would pace me. You would lap the board in points, and you'd be up over 100 and I'd have like 35 points. And I'm like, I'm not getting this. So in addition to us having the board game, I downloaded the app on my phone and I played the crap out of it until I finally knew every card, every in and out, every strategy, every corporation, until I knew it backwards and forwards. And now I was like, yeah, bring it. Let's play that game again. So that will always have a special place in my heart. And I learned a lot of techniques in that cross over and help me in other games.
Nice. And that is designed by Jacob Frixilius. It's published by Frix Games, and it's distributed, or it was distributed in the U.S. by Stronghold Games. I honestly don't know who has it now. It might still be Stronghold. But yeah, that's one of the games we pull out quite often.
Yes.
I said that was number 3. Mm-hmm. My number 3 is 30 Rails. 30 Rails is actually a print and play game. It is designed by Julian Ansley. You can go on Board Game Geek, Google 30 Rails, either one, and you could just print this game off. It's dice and you draw on the piece of paper with a pencil. However, when I showed some friends in our group, probably back in 2017, 2016, about this game, our late friend, Brad Morton, he was one of the owners of Republic Printing. He made me a nice copy. It has a box. It has laminated sheets that play up to 8. It's got the optional scoreboard where you can play plain Jane or you can play with stocks, which just another little bitty wrinkle to throw in there. I love that copy. It's one I used to put in the Moon City Con library, but it's kind of gotten roughed up a little bit, and it won't. I'll probably bring it out to a game night here in the future, to where we'll actually talk about it in one of our 4s, but Yeah, 30 Rails, fantastic little game. It means a lot to me. It was handmade for a Christmas gift, so yeah, I'm not letting that one go. My number 2 is going to be Concordia. Concordia is my favorite game. I have everything that I know of for it. Then I have beefed up pieces for it. I have all the cards sleeved, which my copy's been played probably 40, 50 times, so I'm probably going to re-sleeve the cards because now the sleeves are getting grimy. And it probably just needs it anyway.
Sure.
And then I spent another $70-$80 on the Wingspan Big Bird box because I found out through measuring it fits my Concordia stuff pretty darn well.
With all the extra bits.
So now I need to get some nice artwork and some sticker paper to put on that box so it says Concordia. But it's one of those games that is just... It's an elegant design. In Concordia, you play a card, you take the action. Your cards at the bottom will score points at the end of the game. But they score points based on what you do out on the map. So you have Jupiter cards, and Jupiter wants you to build into the cities and expand, except for the brick cities. If any city makes brick, that's a cheaper city, and he's not impressed by that. Saturn wants you to go out and be in the different provinces. You get a point for each. Mercury wants you to trade in all the different goods. Mars wants you to put a whole bunch of your people out. So, as you're playing the game, you can spread out and build stuff. You can acquire more cards. You can trade your resources. You can activate to get more resources. But it's that push-pull of, do I expand out on the board or do I buy more cards? Mm-hmm. And you need to do both. And I like that elegant mechanism. Mm-hmm. Now, there's some expansions that kind of throw a little more rando in there, like the Forum that came with the Salsa expansion, and then you have the fish markets that came later towards around I think the year after Venus came out. And those are fun, and I like throwing those in there every now and again. We're probably going to play with fish markets here in a week or two, but Carcassonne, my favorite game. It's an important game to me. I love playing it. I love teaching it.
You said Carcassonne. You meant
Concordia. Yeah, I mowed today. I don't like mowing. My head's all clogged up.
Yeah.
Concordia, designed by Matt Gertz, published by Rio Grande Games. Andrea, your number 2.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Ooh.
It is themed in the Dungeons and Dragons world.
Yep.
But you don't have to know anything about that world to be able to enjoy this game, because I don't. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, even though I'd like to eventually. But it is a worker placement game where there's a map that you put your workers out and you get resources to fulfill quests. You have quest cards that have, you must collect 4 rogues and 3 fighters and pay $2 and you get so many quest points. It is very entertaining in that the player interactions aren't huge, I wouldn't say, other than
but they're important.
Other than you took the piece I wanted.
Right.
But there are mandatory quests that you can play on other players that you can't fulfill any of the quests you want to until you do this. And they're usually not very good quests, the mandatory quests.
No.
And you don't get very much as far as points for winning them. But I really enjoy this game. We have it tricked out. We have all the things. We have the expansions. It is
the metal coins.
Yeah. It is something I feel like we can play with friends and family. Well, it's lightweight game, not family weight, but
right.
I don't see us ever getting rid of it either.
Nope, that's not what I want.
Which takes us to our number 1.
Yep, we're gonna use the Start Player app.
Oh, are we? Okay. I'm ready.
Number 1. Who's gonna give theirs first? Me.
You are.
My number 1 on important games is Ticket to Ride. So Ticket to Ride is my most important game because it's the last game I played with my grandfather, Henry Bagwell. As I was bringing more of the hobby games to Christmas time. The Bagwells always play games, but it was predominantly card games and party games. So I started bringing some of the hobby games. And I brought the Splendors, I brought the Ticket to Rides, brought the Catans. And while they liked them, my grandfather really liked Ticket to Ride. And he just called it the train game. And when he played with all of his routes face up. He didn't hide them. So when he was done, he just put it off to the side, and his next turn, he was going to take more routes. So usually we didn't really try and block Grandpa a whole lot. We let him play, and we played, and it was a good time. I, miss him dearly, and miss playing Ticket to Ride with him.
Aww.
Andrew, your number one?
My number one is Wormspan. It was one of those games that we already had Wingspan, and we enjoyed it well enough, but when I heard there was going to be a dragon version, I got super excited.
Yeah.
And so you got it for me as a gift and tricked it out with all the nice pieces. So I still enjoy Wormspan. It is on our 10 for 10 challenge this year, and I still really enjoy playing it. I'm excited for the expansions that they've teased that are coming out.
It's supposed to be hitting some people that are on the Stonemaier Club. They've already gotten theirs. Just the Dragon Riders, or the something to do with Dragon Riders. And our friendly local game store is supposed to be getting it here in the next few weeks.
I'm excited.
That might be one of our fours that we talk about in...
next month?
Yeah, next month.
Woohoo!
So, Wormspan was designed by Connie Vogelman, published by Stonemaier Games, and then My Ticket to Ride was designed by Alan R. Moon, published by Days of Wonder.
Nice.
Do you have an honorable mention at all, or do you want to...
My honorable mention is the Fox Experiment, which is not a game we get to the table very often.
No.
But as someone who grew up on a farm and is interested in genetics and breeding, they've incorporated that and made it a board game and it's based on a real life fox experiment that happened in Russia, where they were breeding foxes for fur. Boo. But they randomly found out that foxes with certain physical traits corresponded to either being more aggressive or docile, and like curly tails and floppy ears were more gentle and passive. So they were like, let's see if we can breed for just those physical,
domesticated, hot, happy.
Yeah, physical traits, and they did correlate to behavioral traits as well. So I find that very fascinating.
My honorable mention is Ark Nova. Ark Nova is our choring game. Whenever we play several games when we play chores. But it's one of the games that we can set up on a Sunday if we have lots of laundry, lawn to be mowed, dishes to wash, clean the bathroom, fold the clothes. Lots of the choring around the house to do. Boring. So we'll set up Ark Nova. We'll play to a break. Then we'll go take care of a few things. Sit back down while the clothes are washing and the dryer's going. Play to the next break. Get up, do the next few chores.
Yeah.
It's a little thing that we like doing, but it makes the day go by, and it doesn't suck. Mm-hmm. You got to get up and go do the things. It's got to get done anyway.
Yeah.
So you go and get the things done quick enough so you can come back on your turn, because the spider monkey that you really need for your project is right out there, and I need to get to it before you come back and take it from me, or before we take it to the break and it gets kicked off the road.
That's right.
Well, those are the games that are most important to us. What's some of the games that are important to you? Head on over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network, or if you're listening to on YouTube, leave us a comment below. But until next time, let's say it. Next episode's episode 50. We'll be talking about the game, the shows we talked about in the last 50 episodes, and our 7 will be our favorite 7 games that we've talked about in 50 episodes. And those are games that were either talked about in the 4 or that we reviewed. So, until next time, Andrea.
Keep gaming
in
in the 417. The 417 Gamer podcast is recorded and produced by Andrea and Rick Bagwell. The intro music we use, Kind, Gentle, Beautiful Person, and the outro music, Making Up for Lost Time, was created by Origami Reptica. For links to our show notes, the music, and guest links, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network. Until next time, keep gaming in the 417.